r/AskReddit, what causes way more deaths than people are aware of? Yep. The first time I went septic, the doctor pulled my wife out of the ICU and said I had a 50% chance of dying. It was a frightening thing for her to hear. I got better. Death by strangulation has increased 90% in the last decade. Link. My 15-year-old niece talks about making out with boys and they want to choke her. Breath play is difficult to be safe with even as a BDSM-educated adult. The porn these boys watch is going to kill people. People really seem to downplay heart issues. Heart issues causes more deaths than cancer. It's the leading cause of death in the US, but cancer seems to get more of a spotlight. Yes. BC, you don't have to have a bad heart to have heart issues. Stress, lack of sleep, anxiety, heartbreak and also grief/loss can fuck up your heart. Forcing doctors to work long shifts. Mistakes were happening on shift change. Instead of making handover more rigorous, the powers that be decided to make shit change happen less often. The time spent doing shift change right wasn't worth it, I guess. Fucking 24-hour shifts for doctors in residency. It causes absolutely nothing but harm. Shift work in general. Very deleterious to your health. Deleted. Driving while sleepy. Studies show that adults with autoimmune disease were much more likely to have suffered long-term stress as children than the general pop. Link. Poor dental hygiene. It can cause a slew of other health problems including sepsis and heart attacks. Vending machines. No, seriously, people get mad at vending machines and they tip the machines over on themselves. Vending machines kill more people than sharks, cows, and something else combined. IIRC, and cows are another, they have quite the body count. And GT, vending machines kill more people than sharks. Well duh. Sharks hardly ever interact with vending machines. Sorry, I'll see myself out. Antibiotic resistance. Moose are also dangerous as hell. Antibiotics resistance is on the rise too. I want the DRS who prescribe them to patients with viruses to lose their licenses. The excuse is because the patients insist they need them. It's incredibly irresponsible and dangerous. Not saying it's a lot of them, but one is too many. Most people don't finish them anyway, and that's the real issue. Pushing on the toilet. Lots of strokes. Don't push. Breathe. If I go out this way, at the minimum, I want a second chance. 600 people die in parking lots every year because somebody didn't look behind them when they backed up their car. I wouldn't have imagined it was that hot. Currently sleep deprived, at home all day, no health risk to anyone, so I was just googling this. Apparently if you've been awake for 24 hours straight, your cognitive ability is impaired to the level on par with someone with a blood alcohol concentration of 0.1%. 0.08% is enough to get you hit with a DUI. Seriously. Please do not lack of sleep and drive. This almost happened to me the other day. I was walking and a car reversed so fast they almost ran me over. I jumped out of the way, and yelled, "You need to be more careful." They flicked me off, called me a bitch, and peeled out of the parking lot. Deleted. Often it's when you fall down because of the punch and your head meets the pavement. Diarrheal diseases. Shit's crazy. All funniness aside, diarrhea is globally the second leading cause of death of children 5 and under. I almost died from shock and dehydration from a severe IBS flare-up. When the EMTs came, my blood pressure was 70/70. I received 3 liters of saline in the hospital. The ER doctor said that if I had waited another half hour to call 911 I would have died. Mosquitoes. A lot of us just find them annoying and itchy, but in other parts of the world mosquitoes kill millions of people via malaria. Also yellow fever. Actually, malaria is apparently estimated to maybe have killed about half of all people who have ever lived. Air pollution, link 1 in every 9 deaths worldwide, higher in lower and middle income countries like where I live. Man, it sucks to unavoidably breathe in my slow killer daily. Tripping. On average around 17,000 people a year in the US die from injuries incurred after tripping and falling. More people die during the summer due to high temperatures than the amount of people who die in the winter due to cold temperatures. I'm the heat dome we got a couple years ago in the PNW. Over 600 people died here because you don't expect 125-ish weather in Canada. Radon. It's really nasty stuff. Most people don't even think about it. Depression. I mean, people are aware of it, but they tend to simply push it away. There are roughly 200,000 deaths of despair, e.g. suicide, overdose, etc., every year in the US. 200,000. Every year. That's more than number of people killed by strokes or diabetes, but less than cancer and heart disease. Undiagnosed high blood pressure. People who die by getting tangled in their bedsheets. I was shocked to hear this ever happened, let alone 800 times a year. I'm guessing babies and maybe old people. When I was in the ICU for pulmonary embolisms, my attending pulmonologist said that the morgues were filled with people who didn't know they had blood clots. People you know killing you, I guess nobody really expects it. A friend of mine missed a step at party and clocked her head. Full-on concussion, a month of coming back to full ability. Wasn't even drinking or anything. Just whoops and light brain damage, almost death, etc. It was really sobering. It's that easy. Stress. It can snowball into other issues. Ulcers, headaches, heart problems. Medical mistakes. Champagne corks. More deaths per year than by shark attack. Are people trying to pull it out with their teeth and choking? Sleepy driving and drunk walking. NPR just had a report on how you're actually safer driving drunk than walking drunk. It's just not widely reported because you, obviously, pose a greater risk to others while driving drunk. Makes sense. Surprised I didn't realize it myself. People are always letting friends stumble home drunk as if the worst thing that'll happen is passing out on someone's lawn. Drunk people passing out and dying in the snow is talked about a lot where I live. It's way too common. Snow shoveling equals heart attacks. Ibuprofen and other NSAIDs. The issue with NSAIDs is people take them continuously and on an empty stomach. Taking them every once in a while, and eating something before you take them helps way more than folks realize. But if you're chewing down 12 a day of them or Tylenol, you're gonna either end up with a hole in your stomach or missing a liver. Neglect in nursing homes. I'm not allowed to take those because they react with another medication I'm on, but after reading this I'm kind of happy I had to give them up years ago. Depression/mental illness. Hippopotamuses. You're not yourself when you're hungry. Women being murdered by their ex/partner. I live in a Western country and did not realize how big of an issue this is here until I read into it. I grew up with a girl that was murdered by an ex. He has a restraining order and the day he was due to court, he decided that was the day to kill her. Domestic violence is one of the highest causes of death for pregnant women and women in the workplace. Stairs. I worked as a janitor for a nursing home back in 2020, and the single hardest part of that job was relaying a patient's request to the nurse only to have them do nothing. It sucked having to walk back to a patient's room and finish cleaning without a nurse coming to aid them. That job sucked for a lot of reasons, but that helplessness was the worst by far. Sepsis infections. This one is no joke. An undiagnosed UTI in older women, for example. Hello everyone. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to humbly ask you to subscribe to the channel. According to my statistics, 100% of my viewers in the past 28 days are not subscribed. I have always wanted this channel to reach 1,000 subscribers, and if you want to support and be a part of that, subscribe. It's free and it's an awesome way to support the channel. Thanks again. Reddit glitch out.